Hello everyone, welcome to a new lecture. In this lecture, guys, we will talk about what is blueprints. And it's going to be mainly a theoretical lecture, but we will take it in general to understand what is blueprints, and that's like an introductory to blueprints. So guys, if we open Google and we do from here google.com and we say C++ language, we get images, and these images is basically represents a language of programming that comes in like sentences, and this basically happens in Unreal Engine. So basically this is the primary language that Unreal Engine relies on. But Unreal Engine developed a technology that is based on nodes, and these nodes they called blueprints, and it makes the designers and beginners life much easier, because as simple as our major is not programming and we don't know how to program, but now we will enter the topic with from an angle that is a bit easier. Okay guys, so blueprints is, as we said it's a programming language. So if I say blueprints here, for example, Unreal, and I'll open another Google so I can differentiate what's the difference. There you go, guys. We get lines of codes that are presented in just one node, and this basically does a certain functionality. So Unreal Engine has shortcutted all of this in one direction. So basically I am just a person who is connecting nodes together based on a logic that we will understand together, hopefully. And we'll be able to work with it. So blueprints can be cut into two different levels. So level blueprint and class blueprint. So level blueprint, I open level blueprint from here, and here is some of the interactivity we've done so far and functionalities. Level blueprint is responsible on the main thing of our level. It's like the main boss, right? And there is subsidiaries, like it's like a parent, and there is children from it, or not from it, children just from other parents. So level blueprint is the main, that's the parent, and under it there could be class blueprints for sub-child, let's say, blueprints. So that's the main actor is the level, and the sub-actor is the class blueprint. Does any rely on the other? No, of course not. I can do either or, depend on the interactivity that I need to deliver. But what I can do is I can do a class blueprint and take a certain node from it and read it in the level blueprint from a different order than the class blueprint, just for us to understand the basic fundamentals of it. So we've got level and we've got class. Before that, we've done load level instance for our landscape to load. And we've got the open source for the media TV for it to work properly. So now I will delete the open level, compile and save. So basically this is the viewport of the blueprints generally. This is the event graph. And here I want to close Epic Pen, or I will keep it just in case we need anything further down the way. So we find from here, guys, we can add things from here. Here are the details of any node that I select, or any object that I want to, or I wish to control furthermore, or any variable. Right click from anywhere, I can call any node that I want from here. The word of blueprint, guys, it's logic. So it's a couple of codes that are connected to each other. And these are code elements, and each color represents a certain thing. So for example, red represents event, something that is about to happen. For example, blue is functionality. So event begin play is basically is considered the main actor on when I start the game, what happens. Then load level is functionality. Open source is another functionality. So and the media TV is a variable. So we start kind of starting to know what each color represents. So this is the level blueprint, and we will come and talk about it, and we'll come to the class blueprint. So we'll do right click from here, we'll do folder, and we'll call it blueprints. I want to call it blueprints. Double click inside of it, I'll do right click from here, blueprint class. And from here I'm gonna get the blueprint class, and I've got different options for us to pick from. So there are other classes as well for we can look for. So what is common for us is what we'll deal with is the actor. We've got the pawn, the character, player controller, game mode base, actor component, and scene component. So we've got multiple of ones, and I can dive deeper into it even more and more. If we took actor for now, and we're gonna call it just blueprint, double click from here, we've got the main blueprint editor, guys. So this is the viewport of the blueprint. Here's where I add static meshes and also collision boxes and stuff like that. WASD, with right click I can move. Here I've got the default scene route, and that's basically the start of the scene. Here I can add certain components, for example, like the static mesh. I can add a door, a couch, anything that affects on it, cube, sphere, anything I want to control, point light, scene, actor. And there are a lot of things I can add, guys, and relate to for all the majors. We will talk about the main blueprints that we will need in this course together. Here I've got some graphs and events that I can call directly into each class blueprint whenever I play it. Where is the event graph? Here is the event graph, and here is some event begin play, actor begin overlap, and event tick. So each second something happens here. So I've got a clock, for example, and it's ticking every second. So I can do an animation, or each second the clock moves the yaw 1%, for example. So these are the main events that comes with every class. There are a lot of events, so if I do right click from here, I can have a lot of events, as you guys can see. If I go to window from here, I've got the palette, and the palette I can look for any blueprint or function I need from here. I can look for. So I've got more than one way to call nodes, such as the material editor, guys. The logic is kind of very similar. So here I can add stuff. Here I've got the details of anything. Here I've got events, functions, construction script. Construction script is things that happens before the logic happens, guys. So it's pre-logic, let's call it. Something I program before the blueprint, the main blueprint plays, the event, which is in the event graph, for example. So mainly we're not gonna work with the construction script. We're gonna do viewport and event graph from the class blueprints, and from the level blueprints we will deal with in certain interactivities. So from here I've got the main viewport, here I've got the event graph and the main viewport of the model. So I can put a gun here, for example, and I can call it from the event graph and do an interactivity or certain logic. Here I've got macros and functions, are let's say more functionalities and more different ways of connecting different blueprints. And also I can not just add to the scene, I can connect from two different blueprints from the functions that I've got here. So I can do a function in a certain class blueprint, and I can call it in a different class call function, for example. So they all start working together. I've got event dispatchers, also more blueprint options. And I've got variables, and the variables, we did variables before, is basically when I want to call certain objects or certain float or a certain amount. So variables I can configure based on objects, nodes, or values, as we said. So that's mainly the kickstart of the blueprints and a main explanation of the user interface of the blueprint. So we work step by step. Everything is okay. Here I've got the toolbar and the compile and save. They are very important. So when I work on everything and finish working on it, I need to compile and save so everything works. So for example, event begin play, I want to take a certain node from it. I want to say, for example, print string. And from print string, I want to say, hello, welcome to Unreal Engine 5 course. Compile, save. And here when I begin my, I should drag and drop my blueprint into the viewport, because if I don't do this, it won't play. And here I see it on the top corner left, hello, welcome to Unreal Engine 5 course. So it showed and it's gone. So I can put this interactivity from here. I can do control, I can do Control X from here, compile, save, and then I can go to the main level blueprint from here, and I can do Control V from here, and I can play it from here. You see, we're flexible. We can copy almost everything from anywhere and still get the same results. Hello, welcome to Unreal Engine 5 course. We still get the same logic. And that's it, guys. This is a kickstart for Blueprints. I hope you guys benefit from this lecture. See you guys in the coming ones.